What time is it? Dance and poop!
What up, YouTube? It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dove, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes. Let's get it started.
It's Friday. That means we are here in the Funhouse. Thanks as always for tuning in to another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes, your arcade and gaming podcast show. I'm your host, Patrick. Thanks so much for joining us. We got a special guest in the house. Let's introduce him first. Glenn's Retro Show, the godfather of arcade gaming. How are you, Glenn?
It's Friday, man. I'm glad to be on the show. Honored.
Everyone in the chat, say hi to Glenn. And with me, as always, is Detroit Love. How you doing, Detroit Love? You got to say it.
You know how to do it, baby. Fantastic.
And we got Michael B. the Game Genie. The dog is still dead, but Michael B. is breathing air. He's alive. How's it going, Michael B?
The air is hard.
Why do you just have that there all the time? I'm doing great. I'm so excited we have Glenn with us here tonight. I just threw my phone across the room. This is going to be awesome.
And we know for sure the dog is dead because we didn't hear a yay, like last time. You know, ladies and gentlemen, in loving memory, once again, the dog. What was the dog's name again? I can't remember.
The Baroness, like in G.I. Joe. The Baroness.
What is it? Baroness? Poor Baroness. All right. And we got Nostalgia here as well. Nostalgia, how are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Good. You are going to be a big part of tonight's show, so I hope you're fired up. I hope you're ready, man. Hope you drink your vitamin C and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be talking about Neo Geo and the HyloX and all that stuff, which you just did a video on, which you should be pretty excited about. Yes?
I actually got to go, so I will see you later.
On the next one.
No, he's lying. He's lying.
No,
he's lying.
All right. No, yeah, lots of good stuff to talk about today.
All right. So obviously, you know, the show just went live. People are still joining. I figure we could talk about something really small, really quick, just for a couple of minutes while we wait for everyone to join the broadcast. We know people don't want to miss the meat and potatoes of the show. Glenn, you might remember this stuff. I'm not calling you old or anything. Oh, look, I just noticed Detroit Love has the dog on his shoulder. I just noticed it.
We were just talking about that.
So if you guys don't know, and I also, this is going to lead to a question for all my co-hosts as well as for everyone in the chat. I collect a bunch of different things, right? Like I collect baseball cards. I collect comic books. I collect Bowen Marvel statues. You know what I mean? I collect arcades. I collect video games. I also collect board games, right? I have a ton of board games in my house. And I recently just picked up.
P-Dubs, do you collect dartboards?
No, stop. We're not even going to go there.
We're not even talking about that. I just happened to pick up this dartboard right here for like $6. You know, a lot cheaper than you were looking at getting. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not going to live this dartboard thing down.
You can have one in every room, P-Dubs.
You guys are jerks.
Too funny.
So, and this is also arcade and gaming related, except for one of these board games. So I just picked up these board games this week. Does anyone remember these? I picked up the classic Milton Bradley Centipede, Zaxxon, and Berserk. And of course, I picked up Screaming Eagles. Now, Glenn, did you used to own or play any of the board game versions of these classic arcade games?
You know, I got the Zaxxon arcade machine. So back in the day, yeah, I had Zaxxon, the board game, and Berserk. Now, the two of my favorite games back in the day. And of course, if people didn't know it, Berserk was the cause of the first real casualty, first death in video gaming. Guy had a heart attack playing it.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Totally true.
That was a morbid way to bring the room down, but thanks, man. Thanks
the
for
dog
sharing.
didn't. Nothing with the dog.
What about you, Michael B. Detroit Love? Did any of you ever play those games? And let us know in the chat. I know Screaming Eagles was a popular game back in the day. Surely some folks had played that game in the past.
No, I have never played a video game, a board game at all. I have no idea what the concept would be with those games.
Well, it's kind of weird. Like Centipede, though, instead of it being like a shooter game, right? It ends up being it's like a themed game, right? It's a racing game. You and another Centipede are racing against each other. So, because they can't really do the video game on a board game, right? Stuff like that. So, but it's the themed games and, with the characters and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about him. So can't wait to check those out, play them. Hopefully I can get my kid to play them with me. I know. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. People are saying they've played some of these games. Pretty cool. Awesome, guys. Very cool. All right, cool. We got lots of people here, over almost 100 people already. You guys are awesome. So let's kick it off. Let's talk about some topics real quick. For starters, we're going to talk about AtGames as we go company by company. And AtGames this week added 5 more games to their Arcadenet subscription service. We got an Egyptian platformer. We got a tomato shooting game. We got a racing game. We got an urban sports game. We got Big Karnak, Captain Tomaday, Fantasyland, Powerballs, and World Rally. Now, has anyone on this panel played these games before? What are your thoughts on these games? Michael B., Glenn, what about you, Glenn?
You know what? I have not played any one of those. Although I'm Italian, the tomato game is drawing me in, but I've never played them.
Let us know in the chat, guys. Did you see these games? They just got added to Arcadenet. Have you played them in the past? What are your thoughts on them? Throw it in the live chat. We also got a $10 super sticker from Andre Floyd. Thanks so much for that, my friend. We greatly appreciate the support. Now, this is what AtGames needs to do, in my opinion, with Arcadenet, right? Is they said they're going to add 3 to 5 games per week to the subscription service, right? So I think that's pretty cool. I would also love for the ability for us to play these off of a USB. I mean, if they figured out how to do it with Pinball, I'm assuming they'll figure out with the Gottlieb games that come with your subscription, right? Would you guys be more interested if you didn't have to stream those arcade games, if you could download and put them on your USB? What are your guys' thoughts? We'll go around the horn, Carl. And then
so explain the concept to me. So you're saying you're still in the monthly service plan,
yeah,
but you can download the games, play them from the USB as opposed to streaming them across the internet.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you know what Game Pass is, Carl?
Yes.
Like Xbox Game Pass? It'll work Xbox. The same way. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean that sounds good. I mean, I'm a tough guy. It's a tough sell for me for any subscription thing because I put them on, I don't play them, and then I look up 8 months later and I'm still paying for it. I've been paying for Game Pass for about 5 years, and I can't even recall the last time I've been on it. But my daughters are playing it now because of the COVID thing, so that's how they socialize with everybody now. But yeah, I think from a performance standpoint, if you're giving me access, and that's a better access to the games, why not? They can still have them encrypted or encoded such that if you're not on the service, you can't play them. And so yeah, I think that's a win-win.
Yeah, before Michael B chimes in real quick. Yeah, that was my first thought, was once I found out the pinball games could be downloaded to the USB and played, I was like, well, why don't we just do this with all the games, as part of your subscription? Michael B, what are your thoughts? And then we'll go to Glenn and Nostalgia.
I like the idea of choice. Not everybody's going to want to take up room and download all the games. Some people are just going to want to play it right off. They want to try it. They can stream it. They can do that. And then if they really like it, they could download to the stick. I think that would be an awesome option. The other thing I really like about it, I'm down here in my arcade, which is in my basement, where my internet connectivity, a little bit spotty. I can't hardwire down here because it used to be an apartment, so it's on a different power source, so I can't even do a power line adapter. It would be so much better for me to be able to put it onto a stick that I could play it down here with a much more reliable connection. Not AtGames' fault. It's my fault for having bad Wi-Fi, but that would make it so much easier for me to make sure my cabinet stays down here instead of moving it closer to a reliable internet source. I'm probably going to do that anyways because I want to start playing these games online. But, if I don't want to move it upstairs, I can still put it on the stick. So I like the choice. I like the option. I think they should do it.
Bobby Broadway says just run a 100-foot network cable through the house, Michael B. That's all you got to do.
Yeah,
Glenn,
my wife would love that.
Glenn, what are your thoughts? Because in my opinion, I mean, you started the AtGames fan page. You were promoting and supporting AtGames before anyone else. Like back in the, excuse me, I'm choking here. Back in the console, their console era, the flashback consoles or whatever.
I have every one of those consoles too. I had a whole wall of them over here.
I mean, it was like one man standing, one man promoting AtGames. It was Glenn, and Glenn seeing them evolve into what they are today, where now we have some pretty good devices as well as some interesting subscription services. What do you think about the Arcadenet and these games? And are you cool with the streaming, or would you rather download locally? What are your thoughts, my friend?
Well, really quick, I will say, from seeing AtGames go from the beginning till now, just how the company has changed. It's got going from Hyundai when it's Excel back in the early 80s to now they have the Genesis line. They've really come a long way as far as a quality product that people are now fighting over, which first of all is fantastic to turn around that way. Now, with that being said, I'm probably a hybrid between Detroit Love and Michael B. I am, I'm one of the older guys. I've always been the person I want to buy it, own it, have a physical copy. I've never been big on streaming at all. However, I do understand what Michael is saying, that interconnection may not be ideal in one spot where some of your machines are. So having the option where you can put it on a physical media and take it to the machine that you need to play on it, I think is great. Me personally, I'm just not a streaming kind of guy. It's just not something I do. I like buying the cartridge or getting the ROM and doing it that way. But nothing ever went wrong with giving someone the option doing one or the other. Not having the option means potentially 50% of the audience is not going to go in for it. Having the option, you can have the chance of bringing them in. Like me and Detroit Love, maybe not. Michael B, it would be an option. So I just think that they have the ability to do so. It's just, I'm sure it takes time for them to change the code to make it streamable and then downloadable on the USB sticks. If they can do it, I think they should.
Nostalgia, what can you tell us, my friend?
I got to think about what I can say and what I can't say. So I certainly like the idea of having the ability to download natively and run it off the hardware, assuming the game is capable of running on that hardware.
Yep.
But I also like the idea of streaming because the streaming kind of position actually is different. You can do more things with streaming. You've got the ability to do that. They're calling it party player, but you can essentially share your stream with somebody else, and you can do multiplayer online, which is not something that you could do natively. So there's voice chat. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that really changes the dynamic of the game when you do live streaming or when you do a streaming version of that game. That being said, when you guys are talking about just figure it out and make it run natively, it's not so much the technology, it's the licensing. So there's different licenses that you have to get when you're dealing with native play versus streaming, and there's a lot of negotiations that have to happen. So, I mean, I'm not involved in any of that, but I would love to see that kind of evolve in time.
That's a valid point. I assume with streaming, it's a lot more locked down from the content creator's point of view versus if it's downloaded where you can potentially get to the media.
Right. Now, one of the coolest things about Arcadenet, which I don't think people realize, is all of these Arcadenet games, every single one of them, pretty much multiplayer online. You get to play with your friends, which is why the streaming makes sense, right? But some people, they don't want to do that. They don't want to play online, or maybe I have no friends, or maybe I'm an introvert, I'm antisocial. I just want to play by myself. I think it would be really cool if AtGames did both, right? Like you could download and play locally by yourself games that the hardware can support, or you could stream the games, and that way you could do voice chat and play online with a friend. I mean, guys, we're talking, they're the only company right now that has, over 60 games that you can play online with a buddy. Yeah, they're not the greatest games of all time, but I'll tell you what, anytime I've ever played online with one of these YouTube friends of mine on Arcadenet, even if we're playing like Ashura Blaster, it's not like Mortal Kombat, but we have a great time because we're talking and we're having a great time, and that's what it's all about, right? Because we're living in a world where we cannot be in the same room as each other, right? So it's a great option. So that's just, I hope AtGames, if you're listening, give us both options. Let us play locally by ourselves and let us stream and play online with a buddy. All right, let's move on, guys, because we got a lot to talk about. So, for instance, Michael B's got a big announcement for Canada and the AtGames Legends pinball machine. Michael B, take it away, my friend.
Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern. Get your credit cards ready. Get your computers ready. Log into the Bricks website because pinball's gonna drop, baby. We get our Legends pinball pre-orders Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Go to the Bricks website. Get it done.
Where are you going to stick it? Where are you going to put it?
Yeah, you don't have the space, man.
Oh, I'll make space. For Legends Pinball, I'm going to make space.
I did notice you have a closet in that room. I believe you have a closet in there.
Yeah.
Rip out the closet doors, and now suddenly you got space for 2 or 3 cabinets.
Oh, I'm tearing out the whole. There's 2 closets here, and it's basically, this was an apartment, and to legally call this a bedroom, they had to put a closet in it. So they actually built out the wall and put 2 fake closets in there. I'm just going to tear that out, and we got pinball, baby.
Nice.
Okay, but just to clarify, it's the pre-orders are going live, right? Pre-orders. It doesn't mean that folks in Canada will receive their cabinets before the first 3 waves of the U.S., correct?
No, that's exactly what Mike said. Mike said that Canada is going to get all of the pinball before anybody in the U.S. That's what he said.
No.
So
for real. So what's going to happen is we can put our pinball pre-orders in. I've actually already got some messages about this. People asking me for timelines. The timelines we've been given specifically is we can pre-order right now, but we're still behind the queue of all the people that put their reservations in originally for AtGames Pinball. So we're behind that queue. So you'll see the stuff here in Canada come out around the same time that the American US regular retail orders will start getting ready as well. So that's what we're looking at. So it doesn't mean we're going to be able to jump anybody with a wave 1 pre-order. It just means that we can put our pre-orders in and get ready to go. And then we'll be first to be served here in Canada.
So what you're saying, you're going to get them before anybody in the US, right?
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay. Beautiful.
Oh, stop it. You're going to confuse everybody. Guys, wave 1 through 3 pre-orders of United States orders, you will get your pinball machines before any of these darn Canucks.
So you're saying Canada is wave 4, basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Canada's wave 4, something like that. Yeah. And all wave 1 through 3 orders should at least be processed or something or fulfilled by March 1st, right? AtGames is going to have a lot of stock coming in.
Yeah,
not that far off, man. That's not that far off.
That's a month. That's a month. Everyone's like, we've been waiting forever for my pinball machine. It sounds like per AtGames, and if they don't come through, you can yell at AtGames. But per AtGames, you're supposed to get them all by March 1st, or at least have the order fulfilled, paid, and shipping soon.
Now, did they say March 1st of 21, or they said March 1st?
March 1st of 21. Nostalgia. Any insight we can get there on that? I have seen posts from folks, and folks ping me all the time. Say, P-Dubs, I just placed my order. I got my email. I'm so happy. I'm getting my pinball machine in like 2 weeks. Like, it's pretty exciting. What can you tell us, Nostalgia?
I don't actually know like the details of the quantities that are coming in. I just know that things are starting to ramp up. So people will in the coming weeks start to see things trickling into inboxes, but I really don't know the volumes that we're talking.
All right, so all pinball machines will ship next week for real with Nostalgia.
That's my favorite photo. That's literally my favorite photo. I'm so happy you have that.
His father was Chewbacca, man. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So before we move on to the next company, that I want to talk about something that I've noticed. So, I have a feeling, guys, and Glenn, this might not go because you're kind of like you're like the Sean Connery of this arcade world, right? Like,
Thank you very much. I like to think of myself. So yeah, thank you.
But I got a message for my game room dudes. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I think we need to step up our game, man, because some of these other channels are really bringing the heat. And when I mean the heat, I'm talking the hotness, right? So, for instance, guys,
I'm working out, dude.
So, for instance, guys, I don't know if you guys watch Kongs R Us. Make sure you guys watch Kongs R Us. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Mrs. Kongs is a very attractive young woman.
I did not notice.
And let us know in the chat. Did you watch her Buck Hunter Wild review? Put that in the chat.
What was she reviewing again? I can't remember.
Yeah, she's. And
she has something in her hand. I know that's all.
So Kong's wife. Kudos and well done on that review. I've never wanted to purchase a light gun cabinet before until now.
I got a request to take my shirt off.
I mean, that review was bucking awesome, right? It was bucking awesome. She really likes her Buck Hunter, right? And then also Twisted Gaming TV. He's got a bunch of models running around his arcade and gaming room, taking their clothes off, taking pictures. And I realized, guys, we need to bring sexy back. The game room dudes.
All right, I'm here.
I think
Let's
that.
No, guys, I wish you had told me about this before we started talking.
We're falling behind on the times, man. So we got to give and guys, those guys are getting tons of views off those kind of videos. We need to step up our game. So guys, it's time to show some skin. Michael B, let's see that tummy. We want to see some tummies right here on Super Game Room Dudes. Go ahead, man. Just lift it up. We got to bring sexy back.
No, you can only see my tummy if you subscribe to my OnlyFlans.
Yes. So Michael B and I were talking. We're like, you know what? The Super Game Room Dudes need to compete with all the sexy hotness hitting the arcade gaming YouTube channels. So we are going to start an OnlyFlans channel. That's right, guys. OnlyFlans. So we hope you subscribe to our OnlyFlans because it's hot.
It's hot.
It's hot, and just to give you some teasers now, I don't want you guys to get too aroused, but
look at that.
Guys, the Super Game Room is coming soon. Oh yeah.
Look at that jiggle. Oh my.
Oh yeah. You want it. So let us know in the chat. Are you gonna
Tom's video's got nothing on this now. Sorry.
Yeah, why is that rubber band there? Why is that rubber band there?
Why am I part of it?
Why am I part of it? So let us know in the chat. Press 1 if you will subscribe to our OnlyFlans coming soon.
Before we started the Super Game Room Dudes live stream, I specifically said no flans. That was my one condition.
God. Oh, come on, guys! You got to give us a thumbs up. Hit that like button just for that segment. Just for that.
I gotta calm down, man. I'll have a stroke.
All right. And I was watching the Kongs R Us review, Mrs. Kongs, for like the 9th time. And sure enough, Melissa walked by. Michael B, remember how you're talking about how your wife caught you?
Yeah.
My wife walked by because the laundry room is on the other side of the office. She was walking in there to do laundry stuff. And she heard through the speakers what was going on. She's like, "Are you watching porn?" I'm like, "No, I'm watching Mrs. Kongs."
It's a arcade review. Come on.
But Melissa's so funny. I love my wife. She walks in, she sees what I'm watching. She goes, "She's cute," and she smiled and walked out. It was really adorable. So
and then she grabbed her massager.
Yeah,
for Thunderstick.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I need to relax my muscles.
Oh my god! All right, guys, make sure you check out the Super Game Room Dudes OnlyFlans. Oh.
This is the best night ever.
Yeah.
Okay. Good job, man. I don't know. Mike was telling me that I should, because I've got to do a big Buck Hunter review, that I should recreate that video.
You should.
Shot for shot.
You know, I'm honestly surprised no one has done that yet. Some YouTuber needs to dress like Mrs. Kong's with the hairy legs, like, and all that stuff, have the shirt all tied up, the short shorts, and do the exact same review as her, word for word, shot for shot, but as like some guy like me. And I think that video would be amazing.
I'm gonna lose my eyesight.
All right. Also, guys, we also brought Glenn on because we need to confront him on something. As you guys know, Glenn, he makes arcade merchandise, right? And his company.
Hold on, Mike.
I make it for the guys. I do. I make stuff for the guys. I do.
And his company's name is Thunderstick. And and on Amazon there are Thunderstick massage wands.
Listen, you got to take care of the ladies too. You can't just worry about the guys in the arcade machines. The ladies need their entertainment too.
Right. What else are they doing while we're playing games?
Glenn, I got one question. What ingredients do you put in your multi-sensory massage oil? What are the ingredients in that, my friend?
We are going to be so
that's a secret GRS recipe. I can't share that with you. I'm sorry. That's many years of GRS coding.
Good job, guys. I'm impressed. This episode is something else.
Well, so guys, so the Thunderstick.
P-dubs, I noticed a ton of them went to your house.
Now you're playing with power. That's what Devil Waldo said. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So yeah, we saw that. Like, we're trolling Amazon. Like, you type in Thunderstick to try and find like the Thunderstick products, and that pops up. It was hilarious. And like me and Carl and Michael B and Nostalgia.
You leave me out of this.
You were here. We have a group Facebook Messenger chat. We start picking each other. We're like, is this Glenn? Does Glenn also do this? We're like, he's coming on the show. We'll find out.
Look, I'm single.
All right.
I want to make sure that half the population is just as happy as the other half. That's all I'm trying to do. Help out.
Good man.
All right. So let's talk about Arcade 1-Up Pinball. So apparently there were rumors the product was coming out in February, and then there rumors were going around that it was April, and now it might actually be February. I've noticed a few dozen folks on the Arcade 1-Up fan pages saying they're receiving their GameStop emails. Guys, if you reserved a GameStop Arcade 1-Up pinball machine, check your emails, check your spam folders, because sometimes the stuff ends up there, because they're sending you that email saying, hey, we're about to charge you and ship your product. And usually that email comes out like a week. The longest I've ever seen is 2 weeks before the product ships. So it sounds like these pinball machines are going to come out in February. Do you guys think that's the case, or are we looking at, or do you guys think the April is what's happening? What do you think, Michael B?
I think it's February. Everything I've been told by my sources here in Canada is we can expect to see Arcade 1-Up pinballs reach Canada somewhere around the middle of February, and we're probably looking end of February 28th, before it's going to get out to the people that have pre-ordered through the Brick and through Best Buy. And then you'll see, like, around that time, Walmart will have their stock open up as well. Walmart doesn't do a pre-order, but you can buy the pinball tables through Walmart, so they'll become available that week as well. Last week of February, first week of March here in Canada.
And which models is that, Michael B?
All three from all three retailers. So there's no. I really like this too. I've got to be honest. One of the reasons that I think Arcade 1-Up sometimes mutes my Twitter account is because I harass them so hard about burger time and availability to Canada. And I just wanted an answer. If they had wrote me and they said, "Chill out, dude, it's going to be available at the Brick or something," stop writing us, because the shipping was like $180. So I really harassed them about it. Anyways, it's great to see that they're making so many things available to us through retail here in Canada. And maybe that's also on the Canadian retailers too, willingness to pick up these items and sell it through retail. So either way, good stuff. All three will be available through all three retailers here in Canada.
Now, Cammie, who's a subscriber, we all know Cammie. We love Cammie. Cammie's been following the channel for a long time. She lives down, I don't even think Australia. Put it in the chat. You live on an island south of Australia. I can't remember which one. She told me before. But check out this, man. She had to spend $13.99 Australian to get this thing pre-ordered to come down there, and it'll be there in March. Holy cow. That's awesome. A lot.
Yeah, and that is not cheap.
Gamer.
Now I pre-ordered day one as well, guys. I haven't gotten the email myself, which is what leads to my own skepticism, but hopefully I'll get that email. Nostalgia, you also pre-ordered every Arcade 1-Up pinball machine. Have you gotten any emails for any of them or anything? Or
No emails, but I did get a phone call, and they told me that it's supposed to arrive in February.
Oh, nice.
They said early February, so
interesting.
No, that was the initial release date. All the pinballs had a February 5th release date.
Yeah, no, I just talked to them like 4 or 5 days ago, and they said sometime early to mid-February is when they're anticipating the order. They said they just got verification, but I also was just talking to some random person at the Brick, so who knows?
Yep, she's way down in Tasmania.
Some person, was he like first day? He's like, "No, man, it's cool. They're gonna be here."
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, think of the flan you could buy with all that, Kev Grunt. Your average gamer, Dubs, Arcade 1-Up saw your name, put it in the back of the line. Why would they do that and lose out on free marketing? You know, that'd be hilarious. There's no such thing as what is that called? Is it bad press? Even if I didn't like it, which I'm sure I'll like it. You know, all the reviews we say it's the most amazing thing ever. Speaking of which, what did you guys think? We finally got an attack from Mars out there in the field, and we got a review from it from what was his name?
He goes by a bunch of names. His name is Andy. Andy, and he's a Family Gamer TV, but he also does freelance journalism for like BBC. He does Forbes. That's why the article showed up on Forbes. And I thought it was a good review, but I know a lot of people were pretty critical because he didn't go into a high level of detail that we expect from reviewers like Retro Ralph, like Cool Toy. But what you got to remember is, I mean, that's a short review being made for the masses that also fits into a style that can be written up into a short article for Forbes, which is what they did. So this was a review for the masses. I know people were like, oh, I wanted to see all the games. I wanted to see them go into more detail, but that's not what it was. It's just a review to tell people about the product. We got our 2 hardcore reviews from Cool Toy and Retro Ralph.
Nostalgia, what did you think of the review, or Carl, or Glenn, whoever else saw it? Well, I'm trying to. The chat's really flying. I'm trying to keep up with it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way that Mike does. The review, Arcade 1-Up is very particular about the way that they send their review units out now. So they know the markets they're after, and they obviously want to go into kind of the more hardcore market, which is why Ralph and Doug ended up getting those review units, which makes sense. But they also need to go out to the masses. They're not only going to sell to a small niche market. They want to sell to the larger community as a whole. So that's why they went that route, and I think it made sense. So you can't expect a non-techie guy to do an in-depth tech review. It just isn't how it works. So yeah, I don't have any problems with what was done or how it was done. I think he did a reasonable job for what he was trying to do.
Yeah, I think you showcased it. I think you showcased it fine enough. I mean, I think it's their best pinball. You know, I would. That's the one I want if I was to get any one of them. The Star Wars or what's yeah. I mean, in gameplay, those tables are the best of what the products that they have available on Zen. They're the most realist to the pinball feel. I like probably about 3 or 4 of the games. The other ones I'm not really that big of a fan of, but they all play well. So I was excited to see it in action and just with a regular Joe versus some techie guy. So,
well, I do appreciate all the honest feedback we're seeing in the chat. That's why we do these shows, guys. Thanks so much, viewers, for being honest in your feedback. And it's a mixed bag in the live chat. Some people said they weren't happy with the review. Some people say they thought it was okay. Or at least
it wasn't a really like a gamer type of review. You know, it was really some guy who'd walk into a store and bring it home to his family type of review. So for that, it was right on, but it was not designed for us. It wasn't in a very in-depth hardware style review.
No, yeah, we already got that from 2 other content creators. So
yeah. I've said the only critique that I have is the fact that this was the table all the hardcore gamers wanted. So it would have been nice if they could have sent that one to maybe Doug or Ralph, so we could have got a more detailed view of that. But you got to remember also that the other two tables kind of sell themselves to retailers. It's Marvel and it's Star Wars, so it's easy to get that in stores. The only way they're going to get attacked from Mars in stores is to create a buzz, and that's why you put it out to the guy who then writes an article for Forbes, and so many different eyes see it. Maybe a store will eventually pick it up. So that's what happened.
You know, there was only one issue I had with the review, is that it was missing some much needed flan. As long as we had some additional flan, all he needed was to add some additional flan to the review, and like it would have been perfect, guys.
Oh, that looks good.
Just think about it. Like right now, I just want to buy that pinball machine. Just thinking about it, having a piece of flan and playing Attack from Mars. Oh yeah, heck, sign me up. Sign me up.
Better not be a recurring theme on our show.
Why are you trying to make me so hungry on your show? I'm trying to get in shape, and you want me to get flan.
So there was one detail that kind of came out of seeing the review, and this is not the final unit, but they changed the back box from the CES back box. I don't know if you remember, at CES the back box was actually wider than the pinball table itself, so then the art was in a more correct form factor. But on the finished table, the back box is actually the same size as the table, and it means they cropped the back box art a little bit, so people are a little upset about that.
Hey, Nostalgia, I think you need to call Kamla and let them know we need to have Super Game Room Dudes flan t-shirts added to your Teespring store. That's right, guys. If you're looking for Super Game Room Dudes merchandise, head over to Nostalgia's channel, click the link for his Teespring, and pick up your Super Game Room Dudes shirts and hats and flans and all that kind of stuff. We got to get that done.
I will not be posting a Super Game Room Dudes t-shirt with flan on that unless it is specifically requested by Jeff Rainwater.
Oh, he did. Jeff Rainwater's been requesting flan the whole time. And can you make a shirt that says Super Game Room Dudes on the front and then a picture of flan, and then on the back it says it's flantastic?
Yes, Super Game Room Dudes. It's flantastic. Yes, we need this in our lives.
If you can convince Kamla to do it, I will post it. Like that's fine. I'll do it.
That's your
fine.
buddy. He'll do it for you for free. He'll charge me. Okay, let's move on, guys. So let's talk about the MVSX cabinet. I just received mine today. If you guys have been following my channel as well as our podcast, this is a product that I've weeble wobbled wiffle waffled on. It's a product that I just, it just looked to me like a glorified arcade 1-up. It's the exact same monitor, same hardware. The only difference is I get 50 games instead of 5. But I can play those games on other systems, so what's the point, right? Like, I mean, this is a game that I weeble wobbled. Plus, they told me they'd send me a review unit. I got a tracking number, and it never showed up. And I was a little.
It showed up here. I got it. It was here.
Yep. And I was a little. And I'll be honest with my viewers, a little butthurt. It never showed up. They're like, it got lost. They showed me the tracking that they don't know what happened to it, and maybe it did get lost. I don't know. But in all honesty, I was like, you know what? Screw it. I mean, I'm not interested in this product. But then the HyloX Hack came out. They started announcing it about a week and a half ago. So I said, you know what? That looks pretty cool. I'm going to go ahead and place an order so I can check it out. So now I have it here. I got the bar top today. The base is coming on Monday. Nostalgia, you just did a video on this.
And you see what's happening in the comment section right now?
I have no idea what's going on. I'm trying to get
crazy. I have no idea what you are saying. All I'm doing is reading the comment section, trying not to cry.
Oh my God. The live chat. All right. Everyone's talking about flan right now. Guys, someone in the comments earlier when we were joking around said, guys, get back to gaming, get off this topic. And now the live chat's talking about flan. They're not even talking about gaming.
It's trending, baby.
Oh my God, look at this. Steve Flan, Flan Love, Michael B, the Flan GD, Flanstalgia, Glenn's Flan Show. All right. If you guys want more flan, I'll give it to you, baby. Here's the flan.
Baby.
That's the worst one.
Yeah.
That is some nice looking flan.
That one makes me uncomfortable more than any of the other ones.
Got your flan. Now, get back to the show. Wait, you need more? There's here. Oh, yeah, baby. All right, let's get off the flan, guys. Come on. People are going to start dropping. We don't want that to happen. Okay, so.
Oh, God.
All right, guys, let us know in the chat. The MVSX HyloX Hack, where you can easily add up an additional 150 or so games to the system, some really awesome Neo Geo games, plus some games from some other publishers. What do you guys think? Does that make you more interested in this product, or do you have it and you've done the hack already and you're excited? Nostalgia, tell us about this, because you leaped out of your chair when this happened and made a video, which I was so happy to see. What do you think about this, the hack and everything?
The hack for what?
The Neo Geo. The one you did a video on today.
I'm not quite sure what you're talking about. Okay, sorry. No, I think this is fantastic. This hack is not brand new. It came out, I'd say, probably about a week ago.
Is that a flannel shirt? I can't handle it. All right, go ahead. Let's start over. Is that a flannel shirt? Oh, okay, guys, let's focus. Go.
Yeah,
These
we
guys
got to
are out of
focus.
control.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Cammy's on the ball. She's done the hack. It's great playing games. I wish we're on to begin with, like Blue's Journey. Okay, there we go. That's
Wonderful.
All right, Nostalgia, tell people about how hard this is and easy and all that kind of stuff.
Genuinely the easiest soft mod you can do for any device that I've ever worked with. It's literally as simple as dragging and dropping the files on a USB, plugging the USB into the device, going into the settings, pressing update, and it just does itself. The mod itself is one of those ones I was struggling with for a couple days on how I could release the video, because I don't like releasing a video without providing the tools. But the mod itself comes with all the ROMs, so it was really difficult to think of a creative way to provide people access without providing people access and getting myself in trouble. So found a workaround, but yeah, really simple. Literally go into the settings, do the update. It takes maybe 15 minutes from start to finish between downloading, extracting, and dumping onto the console itself. It's just awesome. Yeah, no, it's really good.
But you guys stop with the flan. This entire broadcast is for educational purposes only. That's right, Kev. Right. Now, here's what I really, really liked about this happening too, and we were all talking about this, is when it comes to ease of modding, right? Like when people started saying, hey, you could gut this thing and just like an arcade 1-up and all that, our initial reaction to that when that came out weeks ago was, you just spent $500 for 2 pieces of red wood at that point, right? Soft mods are the way to go with this thing. If you gut this thing and put a pie in, you completely wasted your money. You could have just bought a $120 arcade 1-up off of the Facebook Marketplace and did that for your pie mod or your PC mod or Pandora's Box mod. So we were all saying, let's wait until the software hack comes out, and the software hack has come out, and it's pretty exciting. Glenn, you love the Neo Geo games? Are you excited to see this? And are you going to get this cabinet?
Well, I'll tell you, I had the review unit come in. Negan, however, knocked me out, and he ended up doing the review. So I didn't actually see it. But from what Negan told me, the machine was very solidly built. I mean, just for the weight and the wood, and it was definitely solid. The only thing that he said he didn't really like was with the original Neo Geo, everything was clicky. Now, when you had Neo Geo, it was clicky, and this one didn't have that. But other than that, it had the look. It had some good games on there. There was a couple that Negan said that were missing that he would have liked, which now this mod takes care of. So if you're a Neo Geo fan, and I do like the Neo Geo. I got a lot of different ways to play Neo Geo as well. It's the way to go. Now, if you can get a spot, we could put some flange on the side of the plate. That would make this the ultimate Neo Geo.
Yes, this hack is missing one thing, baby, and that's more flan.
Oh my God.
That's all they need to add is a little more.
Glenn, I think a long time ago, me and you were on Rexer's show one night, and we were talking about the Neo Geo MVSX that was coming out.
Yep.
And I mentioned the Neo Geo AES Gold that came out years ago, and true Neo Geo fans were so critical of the buttons and sticks on that AES controller that was sent out with that. And I was wondering about this one as well. So is it kind of the same thing? Did the buttons and sticks, is it the same effect for the Neo Geo AES X Gold, where you're saying they're not clicky enough, or is this one more representative of what the actual arcade was like?
No, this was definitely not like how the arcade was. The buttons are very like Arcade 1-Up or AtGames like. You know, they're responsive, but they're not clicky at all. And that does take away from the effect. I mean, when people think Neo Geo on the arcade machine, that sound, that tactile feel you got from the button was what you expected. And if you're a diehard fan, you're going to notice it, and it may be distracting to you. For people who just like the games, don't really care, you know, the buttons are definitely responsive. That won't be a problem. But if they send some flange with it, it'll definitely make people say, you know what, we can take that soft button response.
It's not a flange.
Oh, you guys are amazing.
I can't handle this anymore.
This is what we've become. This is what we've become.
And here we were going to be the mature podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you had me on today, so I was going to bring it right down the hole.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
What I was going to say is I've been talking to some developers, and the soft modding on these cabinets is the way to go. And since Arcade 1-Up has moved to having PCB boards with data ports, with your USB, the micro USB ports that support data transmission, as we see with the firmware updates, it wouldn't be impossible for a community of individuals to work on a side load for that as well. Since they've essentially provided the tools to reflash the firmware, it wouldn't be hard to create a custom firmware that essentially you could sideload whatever you want, pop a USB drive into it with an OTG adapter, and Bob's your uncle, right? So
right. I mean, you know the chipset that's in there, you know the memory file.
Yeah, we know everything.
So with that knowledge, it is possible on the second wave, and going forward, the old ones you won't be able to do that on.
You can actually on the old ones. You just have to solder in a USB port.
Yeah,
it's
see people doing that.
Yeah, I don't see people doing that either. But if you really wanted to, you could.
Okay. So guys,
can you just give me a little bit more flan, please? One more time.
So I gotta tell you guys here. I'm just gonna go full screen here a little bit so people can see. So I gotta tell you guys my first impression taking this out of the box. It's actually a lot better looking cabinet than I thought it would be. You know what I mean? Like I love the shape of the cabinet. I love the marquee. I love all that stuff.
Did you feel it was solidly built, P-Dubs? You feel the thing was like solid? I thought it was.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, like the joysticks and the buttons all need replaced. But then, and then this stupid thing on this coin door thing, that thing is so dumb. That needs to go.
You know what could go over that?
What?
No, don't say it.
A P-Dub sticker.
P-Dub sticker.
That's not what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah.
I'll say it. A spot for some flange.
I'm with Jeff Rainwater. I just thought that cabinet was just too short, man. But none of you guys seem to have that as a complaint.
What bothers me is what P-Dub just said. That coin door on the bar top version. If they were offering the pedestal with the coin door on it, that other coin door should have been a decal you can take off, or just shouldn't be there at all. That does take away from it, in my opinion.
Oh my god. Yeah, guys, this is just sitting on. I got a couple Arcade 1-Up stools because my stand hasn't shown up yet. So
yeah, isn't the height the same height, or maybe even a little bit taller than the Arcade 1-Up?
It's just a little bit shorter. It's like half an inch shorter.
Okay.
Oh my god, people with the flan. No.
Boy now.
Fat flan. It looks flanking awesome. All right. So, yes. And what's interesting too is I think we have a problem, right? Because a lot of us in this community, every single game, even the 150 games that I can get added on this thing, I already have those games. I have them on my Pies. I have them on my AtGames Legends Ultimate. I have them on CoinOps. Have them on CoinOps Next on the PC. Have them on RetroCade. You know what I mean? Like all these devices that we've hacked and added games. But why did I buy this cabinet? Because it's like, at this point, I'm like, I'm going to play like 150 some Neo Geo games on a Neo Geo cabinet. And that's, right. So once again, we're buying crap for the artwork. Yeah. What the heck, man? It's all about the artwork. What do you think about that, Glenn?
The whole experience, though. I owe John more money, but that's why you do this. Otherwise, you would simply buy a one multicade with a Pi and be done with it.
You're done.
It's more than that. I mean, Michael B, look behind him, right now. You want to walk into a room and feel like you're in your own personal arcade. I me, my personal junk room with bags. But that's just me.
Sorry, I'm just keeping up here with the chat. Carl, what do you think about this?
I think about this too often. Is when is enough enough?
Your wife beat you.
Oh, I like that though. But
Oh, God.
but anywho, I digress.
Yeah.
But really, when is enough enough? I mean, we can put thousands of games on every cabinet. You know what I mean? But once you have it on a couple of cabinets, you don't really need it anymore, right? So that's why I've started to go. I have my modded horizontal, or I have the AtGames, and so now I'm really looking for cabinets that stand out, that are unique, that give me something that more in the traditional way of playing. So I got the pre-order of the Atari Legacy, you know what I mean? Because that's one of the cabinets that I had missed out on when they had the 12-in-1, and I was delighted that it came out, and it got the backlit marquee. It's got the fake coin door. I like coin doors. I have real coin doors on my two arcade one-ups that are modded of everything. So I'm more into the uniqueness. I have the Star Wars now because I love the shape of it. I finally got to play it at the and
I think
everyone does have enough room to put every cabinet in here, and so like Mike's doing, changing around, trying to fit, make room for new ones. But at some point in time, he's going to run out of room. So we really have to start consolidating. And so if you can put a lot of the games that you do like on that, the MSX, what's that called? MSX? I don't even know. It's just never showed up on my radar.
MVSX.
Yeah, that does it.
I think, Carl, we're losing you, buddy.
Yeah.
He's got worse slowdown than Double Dragon Arcade.
Yeah, can you guys ping him in the private chat and let him know that his internet is
I'll say really quick here, when we're talking about this, I'm finding myself taking games off of machines. I don't want to have 10,000, 20,000 games on there anymore. I want to have 5, 10, maybe 20 at the most games I really want to play, because otherwise you can't even find them on those machines.
Yeah.
And it takes away from the enjoyability of the game.
Yeah, I'm a guy. At one point in my life, I had probably 8,000 video games here in my house. And the funny thing was, no matter how many games I had, I'd always go back and play the same games over and over. It was either a game that I owned as a kid, or it was a game I rented a bunch. And no matter how many games I got, it was never enough. I wanted to collect more, but I always played just like a very select few. And I find that's the same way. That's what I like about the arcade one-ups is, and I mentioned this in another thing, and I said it was weird. Like, I play my Centipede cab to play Centipede. It has the Centipede art. It looks good. I don't often stray from the main title game on these. So, I've even said it. If Arcade 1-Up came up with premium cabs with one game on it, I'd probably buy that too.
Yeah. Guys, Detroit Love just sent us a note. The reason his internet crapped out is because you guys subscribing to his OnlyFlans really took off. And you guys crashed the servers to Detroit Love's OnlyFlans. Thanks so much for doing that, guys. We greatly appreciate it.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to do some
That's
content.
That's horrible.
I'm going to do some
God.
Cabinet. I'm excited. What's so funny?
Check your Facebook Messenger.
Which one?
Oh, wait a second. I got something too.
Uh-oh. What happened?
Oh, no way.
What? What?
Check your Facebook Messenger.
All right.
Jeff, did you make that?
Boy.
Jeff, did you?
That was quick.
Did you make that?
All right, guys. One of our viewers who did this, Jeff Rainwater.
It appears that way, unless he found that photo.
All right, guys, let us know if you want Nostalgia to add this to the Super Game Room Dudes store. It's fantastic t-shirts. Oh God, guys, we got to get back on the topics, man. We got to stop this. All right, guys, it's fantastic. No, someone already had that made. Okay, well,
that's too bad.
We'll have to customize that. So let's get that off of there. All right, guys, let's get back to the meat and potatoes. So I'll be doing some content on the MVSX cabinet. I'm excited to have it here. So hopefully we can get some review videos and stuff done. Check it out. And then, of course, make sure you guys check out Restalgia's channel. He did an excellent tutorial on how to get that HyloX up and running. Make sure you go watch his video. Restalgia, how did it feel to make a video again? You've been so busy with your full-time job that you haven't had a chance to make a lot of content lately. I bet it felt good to get, back on the saddle, right?
It was nice. It was nice to do that. Now, here's the funny thing is I've got about 15 videos that are they're recorded. I just haven't finished the scripts or the voiceover, or there's just really stupid small things that I haven't had the time to tie up and then release the video. So I have another video that's coming out. I actually think it is finished now. I think I finished it earlier on today.
Nice.
For one of the handheld devices. That's going to come out sometime on the weekend or Monday. I don't know. I'll plan it out so it doesn't feel like I'm sending out 16 videos in 3 days. But no, it feels good. I gotta get back on it because I have a stupid backlog of stuff I need to do videos on. I've got mod videos, mod chip videos. I've got just a stupid amount that I got to get caught up with.
Yeah, and I know where you're coming from. This year, I've been kind of slowing down. I was doing 1 video a day, right? And I've slowed down. I did only 3 videos this week. I only did 2 videos last week. But I needed a break. I was exhausted. But guys, I'm going to be cranking out content now because now I'm rested, I'm healthy, and I'm ready to just make a bunch of stuff. Glenn, you've been doing this a long time. How often would you take a break, would you say?
If you guys have noticed, I've pretty much slowed up for the past 6 months. I mean, I've really stepped it down. Between my full-time job right now and trying to work on getting the trackballs out and the Star Wars arcade unit out and then some other things we're working on behind the scenes right now, I haven't had a lot of time to do it. And I feel bad. Because if I don't put out my bad content, yours doesn't look that much better. I'm actually affecting you guys. I'm really sorry about that.
Hey guys, what in the flan did I miss?
So much.
You missed the flan T-shirt that came up. I think that was pretty much it. We've just been going on about flan.
No, it's been all right. So we're gonna move on, guys. We're gonna talk about iiRcade. So iiRcade every Friday releases 10 new games to their store, even after they're optimized, ready to go. The additions added to the store today were actually no real heavy hitters, right? If we kind of zoom in here and take a look, they added Cliffhanger, City Connections, Psy Battler, Mechanic Escape, Miner 2049er, Mysterious Stones, Demon's World, Hachu, Magic Purple. In my opinion, Mechanic Escape is the interesting one because that's the kind of stuff that is different about the iiRcade than these other arcade systems, right? Is playing games like that on this platform. But I noticed on the fan pages, some people were like, no real big, Dead Cells or what's that? What's the Metrovania one again they got coming?
Dead Cells.
Retromania.
Yeah, that's Dead Cells. I'm sorry, that's Dead Cells. The black and white game that they got coming, the black and white horror game.
The horror game.
White something. I always forget the name of it. And also people have been waiting for Dragon's Lair 2, Space Ace to come out. So it seems like folks were a little disappointed in today's release, but I'm sure there's good stuff coming.
I mean, City Connection's a really cool game, so I don't think anybody should be disappointed about that. And also, that Cliffhanger game, that's on AtGames, too, the Legends Ultimate, I do believe. And that has an even longer name than just Cliffhanger, too, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. It's like Randy.
I'm excited for the Load Runner.
And but Jong and his team are still killing it, bringing on more licenses. They just announced they got Load Runner coming to their platform, the entire series, right?
Yep.
And that's awesome. And guys, adding licenses takes time. And this is what we wanted to talk about. And we wanted to talk about it with you guys as well. Is a lot of folks I've noticed are like, well, it doesn't have Pac-Man and it doesn't have Street Fighter 2 and things like that. So my question,
enough of those already though, man. I mean, there's so many.
Well, that's what I'm going with, right? And I want your guys' honest feedback in the chat. Should iiRcade target trying to get you the same games you might already own on other cabinets in your house, or should they go and use their more advanced, well, I guess you could call it advanced hardware, their better hardware, and target games that maybe some of these other companies can't run and get those on the platform. I think that's kind of what they've been doing. But for instance, guys, do you really want Street Fighter 2 on iArcade? Wouldn't it be cooler if John got the license and instead we had Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition?
How about Tekken?
Because that would potentially run on this hardware, or even, you know what, Street Fighter Alpha, instead of Street Fighter 2. I mean, it's the same damn game. Street Fighter.
What about Mortal Kombat 11?
So that's the question I have for everybody is, do you guys want the same old, or do you want the new hotness, right? Like, what do you guys thinking? Michael, what do you think?
I think it's fine to have.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, yeah, but he said Michael B. Otherwise, I'd raise my hand, girl. So I think it's cool to have a mix of both. I mean, there's people that are going to want to play the nostalgic games they all grew up with, and if they're only going to have one arcade in their house, it's good for them that they can play it on the iiRcade. But it's also awesome for us that we have all kinds of different things in here to get more new and modern games that fit an arcade machine, but aren't typically on an arcade machine platform. So it's really nice to see those as well. I think you can have a good fit. I don't think that the focus should be one or the other. I think that they are doing the right thing right now, and they just need to stay the course, keep building on what they have, and the more we support iiRcade, the more they're going to put hot games on there.
I like it. So, for instance, in order to show my support, is even though they sent me a demo unit, they had 57 games. My Dragon's Lair cabinet out in my loft is now up to 40-some games because I keep buying games to show support. Today, I picked up 5 more games that just got released today. I'm very excited about Mechanic Escape because, Mechanic Escape, Oddmar, what is the other one that I've been playing a bunch of? Mousebot, Beach Buggy Racing, and then, of course, Venture. I've been really getting into Venture. You'd be proud of me, man.
It's a good game. I'm proud of you. I am. It's a very good game.
And then I've never played Antarctic Adventure before. Never. And I have access.
That was a good game too.
I have access to that on a dozen other modded systems, right? But I bought it on the iArcade, and I've been having a blast playing Antarctic Adventure. Go ahead, Michael B.
Don't forget, Carl wanted to talk too, P-Dubs.
Oh, sorry, Carl. What were we going to say?
I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm getting the flan out of here.
Is your flannel shirt too?
I'm all flan with you guys. Hey, but
no longer fantastic.
I am definitely. I definitely purchased the iArcade for its uniqueness. I can play all those traditional games on the cabinets I already have, and so I bought it because I'm interested in playing something different, something that I cannot play on the other ones. Now, if they can get the licenses for some of these games, it doesn't hurt because once people have it, and they're buying them, right? So they're not giving them to them for free. So if you can get the licenses, get them because people will buy them and you make more money. But for me, I definitely purchased them to try different games that I can't play on the other cabinets. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to the wrestling game, the Retromania. That's the game I'm most excited about.
Mm-hmm.
And it's coming next month.
Yeah, I got to say that I tend to agree with the idea that the iiRcade's appeal to me was modern-esque games.
Yeah.
So even like I just got mine this week, assembled it, I've turned it on. I haven't touched Double Dragon. I haven't touched Dragon's Lair. Those games were not on my radar. I was playing around with that Beach Buggy Racing or whatever it's called. Mm-hmm. I'm just having fun with that one too. So like I'm really more into the more advanced titles. That's what I want to see more of because right now it's the only one on the market that can play those advanced titles natively. Right. So that's what I want to see.
Right. Yeah. So for instance, guys, there's some really cool games out there that belong on arcade. So for instance, Horizon Chase Turbo. This is a game that I love playing on my AtGames Legends Ultimate, but I have to stream it. Either I have to stream my PC to the cabinet or I have to use their BYOG and stream it. But of course, the iArcade could easily run this game. So stuff like this is the kind of stuff I would love to see John go after, as well as instead of Pac-Man. Now I'm going to get crucified over this because I know this isn't a very popular game, but as you guys know, I'm all Pac-Man'd out, right? Like regular arcade Pac-Man. If John announced tomorrow, hey, I got a Bandai Namco license and I'm bringing Pac-Man, I honestly would be like, oh great, another Pac-Man game. But if he was to do something different, like Pac-Man DX, like I think that would be cool, right? Because you could run this locally off that machine. That's another game that would work. And also, too, guys, let's get some Crazy Taxi up in here. Let's get some Crazy Taxi.
I think that might be a little stretch.
He could do it. He could do it.
I don't know.
He could do it.
Maybe a little stretch to get that one running.
Now, I'm not alluding to things happening or anything like that. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, guys. I'm just giving you kind of a wish list of what I would like to see, and what would make me keep going to turn that cabinet on versus other cabinets is Jong bringing, in my opinion, and I hate to say this, guys, the new hotness. That's what I'm going to call these games, right? The new hotness. I want to see Street Fighter 4. I don't want to see Street Fighter 2. You know what I'm saying? Does this make sense? But then again, that's just my opinion. And guys, there's no wrong answer. What do you guys think about that? Or do you guys just we want Galaga, we want Pac-Man, or this cabinet sucks? Let me know what you guys think.
Streets of Rage 4, man. Like, think about how much fun that would be.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 4. That would be amazing on this cabinet, Glenn, what do you think? Because I'll be honest, I've seen their fan page, their community page, and there's people in there who say, and guys, they have every right to their opinion, but they're like, he doesn't have Galaga, he doesn't have Pac-Man, this cabinet sucks. And it's
you know what? It is kind of overdone with those games. There are so many different ways to play it. Now, would it hurt him? Again, it's the options thing we talked about before. But I kind of agree with nostalgia. You do have a machine here that really is poised, has more horsepower right now than other machines out there. So maybe get those good games that no one can touch right now first, and then later on down the road you can bring those other games in. But you can't tell these people have not paid Galaga and Pac-Man and Montezuma's Revenge and Custer's Revenge, good games by the way, on every other system under the planet. It's already happened. So for them to really take hold, and Jong is killing it. I mean, I'm going to admit it. When it first came out, I was like, oh, who's going to want to buy games like that? I was completely wrong. He did a great job. He had an awesome Kickstarter, killed it, but he does have a machine, like Nostalgia said, that really has more power right now than anyone else. It's like a Tesla engine. Use that right now. Use the games that can use that horsepower to its advantage to showcase what it can do to drag in more people, and then you bring in the other licenses later on down the road.
Yeah, well, two elements are here, and Nostalgia mentioned these earlier. Licensing is the issue, so it's going to take time for them to be able to obtain those licensing. And we sort of talked about that in the retail when we talked about the pinball, right? We're saying, okay, people aren't that familiar with the Attack from Mars. Well, people aren't familiar with iiRcade, right? So, you got those two elements that are against them. So it's going to take time to convince people that, hey, this is a platform that's worth, putting your license into and convincing people to buy it. So, he's got some hurdles to overcome, but his enthusiasm, anybody that talks with him will be fired up about the idea in a matter of 5 minutes. So I think he's the right guy to get it to happen. So we'll just wait and see.
I love this idea from Jamie, who's a dude. Instead of Ghouls and Ghosts, why not bring Ghouls and Ghosts Resurrection? You know what I mean? Like, that is a great idea.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff I want to see on the iiRcade. Because I'll be honest, guys, if Jong adds Galaga, Pac-Man, Dig Dug, like all this other stuff, I'll be honest, guys, I'm not going to buy those games. But if they add, but stuff like Mechanic Escape, I bought it today. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Yeah,
Michael.
but like I said in the beginning, there's some people that are only going to buy one cabinet, and if they've chosen the iiRcade as their one cabinet, they are going to want to see these games. So it's okay to bring them here. This is not the P-Dubs iiRcade. This is the everybody iiRcade.
I know. So he just needs to license every game for every era of gaming possible, is what you're saying, right?
That should be the roadmap. Yeah,
that is the road.
What I'm most interested in, to see how that FLAN handles that 1.2 gigawatt of power there. That's what I want. That's what I want to see how it.
Honestly, that was my favorite thing about the entire build process last night. I sat down after my kid went to bed and I put all this together, and I couldn't wait to get that speaker panel out and see that gigawatt sound. Like, that was such a cool, what does it call it? Easter egg with the whole build. That was great.
But I know you were surprised like anybody else when that logo came on. You're like, my speakers don't work. What the heck?
Yeah,
what's going on here? Is it broke? Is it on?
Yeah.
I don't know why they have to fix that.
Like,
I don't expecting that sound.
Like, guys, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but like, I had a FLAN on my dining room table, and I turned on the iArcade, and boom, 1.21 gigawatts.
Gigawatts, baby.
It was crazy. It was nuts. I didn't know what to do with myself. Glenn, now I know the four of us have the iArcade. Glenn, do you have one coming? Are you thinking about one? Or
I don't. Right now, when I tell you my son's gonna have to live outside in the snow, I mean, Michael B's video, I told him in the pre-show that like I am out of room. My home theater was a mess. I haven't used that in like a year and a half, so I finally got that cleared out. But now everything's in. That's why I'm in this corner now. I can't go show other spots. I'm crammed over here. So I got to figure something out because there are machines I know that are coming out that I'm going to want. And I, as you guys know, have a hard time letting things go. I'd rather put it in a bag and leave it here. So I have to really think about, do I want a dining room table or do I want to make that into another game room? Do I need a spare bedroom or is that going to be another game room?
It's another game room.
It's probably going to be.
Glenn, what cabinets do you have anyway?
I have 16 right now. I have of course, my original Zaxxon machine. So that's the first one I have here. You know what? See if we can give it show a little bit of it here. Let's see if I get the camera out.
If you get rid of the bags, you might have more space.
Easy.
So we got my main Zaxxon there. We have some of my arcade one lined up here. Now, this is one of my pride and joys right here behind it. That is actually a Pro Play home arcade, which was the NES arcade machine that was sold back in the early 90s.
Oh,
so that's you very rarely see those. And that thing's in pristine condition right there. And then if we go down, we have more cabinets going up. Well, Negan left his jacket there. I don't know why he did that. We have all those down here, but then I can't show you between here. Back in that corner here, there's like 4 more machines there. And then my theater room, I have my NBA Jam, and I got a couple of the machines in there.
So clearly, some of them aren't positioned to play. What do you actually play? What do you find yourself playing when you
to be
get
honest,
that urge?
Right now, when I play something, because the way things are right now, I will generally go towards the AtGames Legends. You know, because I have a lot of games on there. But like Michael B, I like Centipede. I love Asteroids and my Space Invaders and my Star Wars and my Tron. So if I'm going to play those games, I will go right to those machines versus the AtGames machine. Because I do like the Leonard McKee. I like the artwork that's on there. I like the Glenn's Rich Show controls, which Glenn Rich Show sells a bunch of controls, if you guys didn't know.
What else?
They're good, too.
Thank you. And so it's hard. But if I was a normal person, not me, like a normal person, I might gravitate more towards an iiRcade or the AtGames Legend just because it's such a Swiss Army knife of devices. Now, if I was someone like on like 1 or 2 games, like as a kid, I only liked Asteroids or Street Fighter, I would definitely go to the AtGame. I'm sorry, the Arcade 1-Up, because I want to have that artwork and look. So us 5 here are such weird people where we have to have it all. We need to have the experience with everything. Most husbands and maybe some wives and women. When I grew up, girls didn't like video games. I don't know what happened. Now I missed out. Girls
They
love
like
video
Centipede,
games.
though. They always love Centipede.
I miss Pac-Man. So there's no one perfect cookie cutter thing, but if your space is limited, if you have no room, iiRcade or the AtGames Legend or the MVX are going to be better for you unless you're a modder, in which case then you maybe get an Arcade 1-Up and you mod it with a Pi. So there's all these different things you can do. But for me personally, what I like to play, Pong.
This is great. This is why I started this conversation is, like I said, guys, there is no wrong answer.
Nope.
There's no wrong answer.
Well, there is one wrong answer.
What?
If you wanted Jong to bring in something like digital darts, something along those lines, I think that would be the wrong answer.
Why is that rubber band there? That's just so.
So
Watch the plan.
I did want to point something out. That Glenn at one point. No, at one point with Glenn's videos, you used to be able to see all his arcade cabinets, but now I don't think you can see them anymore. Where can you stick your camera in that room so you can see your cabinets anymore? I don't think they exist. It looks now like your game room has become that warehouse from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
That is it, Michael B. You hit it on the head, and that's kind of a disappointing thing for me. I know I put everything in bags, and I do that honestly because I don't like these things getting dusty. Because you have to clean them, and you have a chance of ruining the artwork and the decals, right? That's why I bag them. But I really like to showcase them, and I really need to start thinking about how I can do that, because I want someone to walk into my room here and see the consoles, not even the arcade one-ups to the AtGames machines, but even the smaller consoles like the MyArcades or the Numbskull Pac-Man all the way back over there. That's part of why we do this. We want to walk into the room and just be in awe at our own stuff, not just the flans that P. Dub's laughing at right now.
This guy, Brad says the Ark of the Covenant is hidden in your room somewhere from Indiana Jones.
I might have that.
Oh my God!
But that's a problem that all of us collectors or just gaming enthusiasts are going to have at one point or another. I've seen some beautiful game rooms. When I look on the AtGames page or the Arcade One page and look at people's game rooms, some of them are beautiful. I would love to be able to do something like that.
We have top men working on it. Who?
Top men.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Sorry, Glenn, didn't mean to be
No,
rude.
that's okay.
You know what, guys? A big round of applause for the live chat tonight. They have been
awesome.
amazing. Like, it is so hard for us to keep the show going. You guys are amazing and cracking us up all night. Huge shout out. Glenn is going to give a spinner to each of you. That's 175 people. Glenn, I'm just kidding. We're just teasing.
He'll give them a bag for free.
All right, we got it. We got to keep going. We got one more thing to cover here. Okay, final thoughts on iiRcade. All four of us have them. The Super Game Room Dudes do plan on doing a joint live stream. We're going to live stream some Bomb Squad action. Hopefully you guys will tune in for that. And also, our Canadian guys, they'll have review videos coming because they just received theirs. So make sure you guys subscribe to Michael Bean Nostalgia. Check out their review videos. I've done 2 review videos. Detroit Love has done some videos. And I love Detroit Love did 2 separate videos, which I really like. The things you didn't like about the iiRcade, or the cons or opportunities for improvement, and then the things you liked. I liked how you split it up into 2 videos. As you guys know, when I do my reviews, they tend to be about 15 minutes long because I put all the pros and cons in the same thing.
Intro.
Right?
15 minutes of my intro.
Well, that's long. Like I honestly, I wish I could get my reviews down to 10 minutes, but I just have a lot to say, you know what I mean? And I overanalyze, and I'm very critical and nitpicky, you know what I mean? So
you know what you should do, P-Dubs, next time when you do a video? Make sure your sugar level is borderline. So as you get 10 minutes into the video, you got to end it.
Yep. And of course, guys, we wish Jong success. He's a friend of the show. He's got a great product. Yes, he's got 200 some games, and there are a lot of good games. And of course, he's got more big announcements coming. Also, before we get to our final topic, I wanted to remind everybody that National Owners Day for AtGames is only 2 weeks away. And here's what
here again. Can you believe it's back?
And for you 160, 70 people who have hung on through the entire show, let me tell you something, guys. National Owners Day, Valentine's Day is 2 weeks away. And here's what I can tell you. PK and I, CEO of AtGames, are having a private conversation last night, and he told me what's happening on National Owners Day. You guys don't want to miss a minute of it.
Free thunder sticks for everybody.
This National Owners Day is going to blow last year's National Owners Day out of the water when it comes to announcements and things happening. So make sure you guys, keep your eyes on AtGames for National Owners Day. Go ahead, Michael B.
So should I prepare my wife now that I'm not going to be able to spend February 14th with her?
Yeah. Oh, well. See, here's the cool thing. My wife and I, we don't believe in Valentine's Day. We think it's just a Hallmark BS holiday. So
that's a trap, dude. P-Dubs, that's a trap. Don't buy that. It's a trap.
Hey, man, we're still married. It's not a trap. We never celebrate it.
They don't forget, dude.
We never celebrate it.
Women don't forget.
Okay, let's get to our final topic. Michael B was very excited about Resident Evil Villages, although they've had some interesting news lately. They've had
second last topic. We didn't do GameStop at all.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, let's do game. You want to do GameStop first, then Resident Evil, or Resident Evil then GameStop?
Well, since GameStop is evil, yeah, let's do them first.
All right, go buy GameStop stock. Okay, let's talk Resident Evil. No, I'm kidding. Well, who wants to talk about GameStop and their stock market prices? What's going on there?
Does anybody actually know the information? I've been very, very keeping a close eye on it.
We'll kick it off there, Nostalgia.
Okay, so right now there is currently a bunch of rogue Redditors that are intentionally trying to what is the terminology? They call it a short squeeze.
Mhm.
They are short squeezing the GameStop stock to kind of stick it to the
brokers.
The brokers. So what's happened here is, I think it's like within the last week, there's a bunch of analysts that have been looking at the data. And if you guys aren't familiar with short selling or essentially short selling, what that means is the stockbrokers will borrow stocks, or I guess they'll sell stocks they don't actually have, and then they'll wait for the stock to drop in price. Then they'll actually buy it, and then they return. They obviously distribute the stocks at that point, but they keep the difference. So they're short selling the GameStop stock, assuming that it was going to crash because of what's going on with the organization and potential bankruptcy and all those sort of things. But a lot of people noticed that they had purchased too many, or I guess they had sold too many stocks, more than were actually available, which then opened up the market for like a short squeezing, essentially. So a lot of people then jumped on the stocks, bought every single one that they could, and they drove the price up. So the price was sitting around $14, I think, something like that, maybe 10 to $14. And as you can see, it closed today. The market closed today at $325. And the interesting thing about that is today is the end of that cycle. They have those stockbrokers that were trying to short sell the stock from GameStop essentially had today as their deadline to buy the stock to return it. So these guys have lost literally billions of dollars at this point. And from my information, or from my understanding, these Redditors are going to continue to keep squeezing and pushing that stock price up as high as they can for as long as they can. But this is, I think, the first time in history in stocks that something this intense has actually happened. This is like a once in a lifetime thing. So it's pretty intense. Now I'm not
saying give you 5 cents for a game.
This is also going to be the motion picture script for Trading Places too.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
this is, it's pretty intense. So, yeah. I don't know.
They've moved on to a few other stock. AMC is another stock that they're doing the same thing.
BlackBerry,
Doge,
Naked Group. I think it's called Naked Group or something like that. The Volkswagen. But so Rex is right. This is the second time that this has kind of happened to this level, but GameStop is it's already surpassed, or I think it projected to way surpass the Volkswagen situation in the 90s.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know.
Solid stock. Yeah, stock.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys know Smash TV, if you're familiar with that YouTuber, but he bought in a GameStop stock last year when it was down to, I think it was like $4. So he is like rolling right now. He put a post up today. He was like, you know what? A lot of people say they're going to go out and buy a Tesla, buy a house with their stock. You know what? I'm just going to look at my wife and never, ever have to worry about buying a video game again. Her questioning me on it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
No, it's funny because I was looking at a lot of people that were making their posts and showing like the statement accounts and everything. And obviously you don't have the money until you sell the stock.
Right.
Like whatever it grows to, it doesn't matter. It's such a volatile market that you can say whatever you want, but unless you sell that stock, you don't actually have that money. But there's some guys that are going on, like they took like a $10,000 investment and they had picked up some GameStop stock, and they now have like hundreds of thousands of dollars in growth just because of this. And it's absolutely insane. And then these stockbrokers are going to, I think the last project, something like $6 billion lost. That's crazy.
Yeah, but listen, I feel bad for anybody who lost money. You never want to see that. But essentially what they're doing, they're like vampires. They're basically trying to reap rewards off the carcass of a company, and they got caught. Like they're gaming the system, and now they're complaining because other people game them. Like I don't get it.
Yeah, no, I find that interesting.
Yeah, they definitely was taking advantage of the situation of GameStop. And they were being greedy about it. That's the issue. They were shorting it. They was 100% going at 150% of shorting it, and they were just taking way too risky, and somebody spotted it, and they got people on board to do something about it. So, but the reality is they may get bailed out, which is horrible.
Yeah, I don't like that. And like there was another side of it too, that a lot of them were using this trading app called Robinhood. Like think about it, Robinhood, you rob from the rich to give to the poor, and they actually shut down their service to protect the rich yesterday. They were like anti-Robinhood.
Right.
Yeah, they shut it. That really was like a big slap in the face, because they essentially, what they did is for like the individual accounts, so not a brokerage account or not a hedge fund or anything like that, but the individuals like you and me, whoever's managing their own accounts, they essentially limited what you could buy. So they just said, no, one, we're not going to let you buy any more of these stocks because we don't want you to keep squeezing it. And two, they actually auto sold people's stocks without them initiating that sale.
Wow.
So they just started
That's illegal.
selling.
That's illegal for sure.
So there was a whole bunch of like really craziness that was going on, and it just doesn't make sense. And the thing that I think bothers me the most about the stock market is that these guys are able to sell stock they don't have. Like, what other industry can you sell something you don't own? Like, it's great. Can you sell a house you don't own? Can you sell a car you don't own? No, you can't.
It's like being at a casino and playing like Texas Hold'em, and you're like, yeah, all right, I've got a flush. No, sir, you don't. Well, I'm going to. You just got to give me some time.
Well, it's not even that. It's like going to a casino and say, I'll play with your money today. Like, you've got a whole row of chips in front of you. Put those chips in front of me. I'll play with your money, and I'll pay you back when I've actually made some money on roulette. Like,
well, actually, I think it's more like you go to the casino and you say, I'm playing with Flan.
That's right. That's exactly what it is. So,
well, as you can imagine, guys, the stock market is something that will never cease to surprise or amaze you. Crazy things happen. Very, very exciting for those who did have money with GameStop. And
I'm going to tell you a true story, P-Dubs. This is a true story back when Apple was about 3 weeks away from going solvent. Back when it was like 75 cents a share. And Atari was coming out with the Jaguar. So I bought $2,000 worth of Atari stock.
Oh, no.
Did I got to say anything more? I'm living in these riches because I bought Atari stock instead of Apple stock.
Was that an Atari hotel that did it for you?
Am I frozen, or is everybody else frozen?
No, we're not frozen.
All right.
Hey, P-Dubs, can you hear us?
All right, cool. All right, so let's talk real quick.
P-Dubs, can you hear us? Yes, no?
No, what?
Can you hear us, he says.
You guys are all frozen on my end. Like,
we're not frozen. None of us are frozen.
All right, cool.
Can you hear us, though?
All right, cool. Moving on. So, all right, guys. So, last topic.
Why won't he just answer the question?
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go.
We don't care about hearing you. We want you to hear us.
I can hear you. We're good.
Hear us.
God,
this bit has gone on way too long.
Oh,
all right, guys. Enough of that. All right. So, guys, Resident Evil Villages is a game that personally I'm excited about because I do really enjoy the Resident Evil series. 1, 2, 3, 4. Resident Evil 5, I only played halfway through, and then I kind of got bored with it. Resident Evil 4 is still my favorite. I still think it was the best one ever done.
Code Veronica was good too.
But this Resident Evil Villages, Capcom has had footage leaked, and now they're going out there. They're trying to stop and get all this footage that got leaked for the game taken down. They've also had an actress die yesterday of colon cancer who's supposed to do the voices of the characters. It's been kind of a hot mess. And then here's the other thing, and here's the main question I had is, should they keep going with the first person point of view, or should they go back to the over the shoulder like Resident Evil 1 through 5? Like, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. There's no wrong answer. I like the over the shoulder. You know what I mean? I don't like the first person, but I want to know your thoughts in the chat, guys. Let us know what you guys think. Go ahead.
I actually agree with you.
Yep. You might be unanimous on this one.
Yeah, I like that. I like that style of game better. I always have.
Yep.
Besides, when you're playing with the girl, you can have her turn in certain ways. You wouldn't see that in first person.
Oh, man.
I think that, honestly, that Resident Evil series that started with Biohazard 7 and Village should be an offshoot. That should be a different series altogether. And I've always wanted Resident Evil to go back to a more simpler time. Like, everybody loves 4, and 4 was a great game, and they took a lot of other aspects of popular games at the time and morphed it into what Resident Evil became in that game. And then they just ruined it and made it way too actiony with 5 and 6. But ever since Resident Evil 4, I wanted them to go back to a more simple, straightforward zombie game. And I would love to see an over-the-shoulder shooter. We just had the remake for Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil 3 came out, and they were both awesome, beautiful. They should go more in that direction, and they can still do the first-person game, but that should be an off game. It shouldn't be part of the numbered series. That's my opinion. I want to see more classic Resident Evil, not this. But at the same time, people forget the first-person shooter was really a response to that tech demo for Silent Hill that came out on the PlayStation 4. What was that called again? It led to Silent Hills, but it was originally P4, maybe, I think it was called.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
You don't know? Remember that tech demo that was on the PlayStation 4? It was.
No, we have lives.
No,
Oh
remember, Xbox guy. I don't touch PlayStation.
That's because you're wrong. That's okay though.
All right, whatever. Paul.
Xbox.
Tom, he said, hey, he thought Michael B was going to make an announcement on the show. He did announce that the Legends Pinball is going to be available in Canada. He gave all the details earlier in the show.
Not all the details. So just a quick update on that. So it's Monday, 9 a.m. Eastern. Be on the Bricks website. Price point is $999.99 Canadian, and you'll be able to get it there first. As for release, what we're being told is they still have to make sure they get the reservations from waves 1 to 3 done first. We can expect to see it after that, so we don't have a dedicated timeline yet, but we can put our reservations down or our pre-orders.
Okay, well, guys, we are really pushing the button here, so we're going to have to pull the plug. Guys, make sure you subscribe to our OnlyFlans. There will be a link added to the video description sometime in the near future. You definitely don't want to miss the new hotness coming to the iiRcade. Get your HyloX hacks in. Check out Nostalgia's channel. If you want to get retro, swing on by Glenn's Retro Show. Michael B. the Game Genie, he's pretty cool too. And then of course we got Detroit Love. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Guys, we had a really fun show tonight. The winners of tonight's episode, you viewers, for cracking me up all night long. And now the show did not flow like it normally would because P-Dubs was laughing the entire time.
Flowed like flange.
You viewers are amazing. Thanks for always tuning in on Friday nights to the Super Game Room Dudes.
And until next time, guys, we'll see you on the web.
Make sure you
plans.